Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. I am starting stream now. I am just. Hmm. Wait, let me add a little bit of freaking music. Let's just get in that. Let's just get the music in. Juno again. Mhm. What are these? Oh, yeah. I was watching this one. Tiny Barista. Sweet Pulse. It's got Tiny Barista. Okay. What are we gonna talk about when it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Well, actually, everybody in the entire freaking Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy, let me start off. Wait, is it? Yeah. Oh, wait. Uh, Let me cut off a little bit when it comes to the freaking sound. Yeah. Okay. When it comes to the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, there are like multiple freaking character arcs that we get to see in this freaking situation because it's an ensemble. And it's not completely, it's focused on the entire freaking group, the Guardians of freaking the Galaxy. And it's kind of nice to be able to see it. We get to see a lot of, we get to see Rocket Raccoon's origins. We get to see, we get to see what do you call this? We get to see a reunion between Star Lord and Gamora. Um, the dynamic between Drax and freaking Mantis gets to have a level up when it comes to this situation, and we get to see Nebula actually being part of the freaking team this time. And this time around, she is not just like she is a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, you know? She's not just like one extra freaking thing that is added to the freaking thing. She actually feels and actually great well. She feels like a part of it. Anyone else, and in this situation, we get to see a little bit of Adam Warlock. Um, Adam Warlock. There's also Cosmo and Kraglin. There's the High Evolutionary. Uh, like the Ravagers. That would be like crazy. That's the insane thing to be able to like see the Ravagers. Like, why can't we have just a show when it comes to freaking Ravagers, man? A show of just the Ravagers. That would be like crazy insane. So let's just sum it up to be comes to whatever it is we need to talk about. So let's talk about Rocket, and then before Rocket, let's talk about Peter. Peter Quill, always the speaking Star Lord, the Star, the man with immense star power, Peter Quill, and then Rocket, uh, Drax. I want to talk about freaking Drax. Drax and Mantis, right? Others, others. It's more likely we're being dragged to the story or to the lens of freaking Peter Quill, but not like exactly because this time around it's just a combination or something that we. It's the third freaking thing addition to the entire freaking series of movies, and it's a combination of freaking losses that Peter is going to have. Well, supposed to freaking have because first his mother, his father, and then what? His best friend, right? Which is freaking Rocket. Well, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. But it's just a question of those freaking kinds of things that he gets to experience. Well, actually, he lost freaking Gamora. He lost Gamora, lost his parents. Like when it comes to Peter Quill, unlike when it comes to Quantumania, we start off like we start off with Scott Lang having everything he ever wanted, having a great freaking life, having success, right? Having success, having a lot of freaking a lot of freaking stuff, right? The bountiful freaking feast, and then it comes to the pizza. That's what Scott Lang was having. But in this time around, we're starting off with Peter Quill, but this time Peter Quill has a point of freaking loss. It's a point of loss for Peter Quill and whatever it is that's going on, and he's about to lose somebody again because he just lost and lost and lost after loss. And when it comes to others, let's just add uh world universe, yeah, Marvel universe concerns, and then story problems, if any, and then what I really like, action that I like, action that I like. That would be nice. Action I like, gags that were funny, jokes that were funny. Yeah, jokes that were funny. Action that I like, gags that are funny, story problems, if any. Uh, wide angle, wide cinematography, or general photography of the movie. General photography. There's a lot to freaking talk because it feels dense. This watching Guardians of the Galaxy feels Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 feels freaking dense for each freaking character, and each freaking dialogue is very impactful towards whatever they are as a freaking character, and it's not just stating what the fuck is going on, what is needed to be done, but it's just adds more to the character, each freaking dialogue that is being delivered from them, which is kind of crazy, which is kind of crazy to be able to understand and watch others. Yeah, it was kind of crazy to be watched. Like there are like freaking lines in there, the conflict freaking points. They're always freaking arguing, but each argument is freaking funny, adds more to the character, and it's just like very well made. The argument freaking set sections are like very nice. Uh, yeah, it feels like they're annoyed at everybody, at like each one, whatever it is that they needed to be annoyed at, right? Yeah, I guess this is pretty much everything that we're gonna be able to like talk about. But that's yeah, we start off with Peter Quill. Oh, and this time around we start off with Peter Quill at the point of freaking loss. He loses freaking almost everybody else. He lost everybody else he's ever cared for, but not actually caring what he has. He actually just grieving, right? Grieving a loss of freaking Gamora and all those freaking stuff, and we get to be able to like see this freaking thing, see him drinking drunk, and then everybody like picking him up and putting him to bed. And when it comes to this freaking section, in that freaking section, we have like Adam Warlock like flying through freaking space and going into there and going attacking everybody else, right? And going into nowhere and attacking freaking nowhere. As he freaking attacks nowhere, there are like crazy ass freaking stuff that happen. No, when it comes to that, there's like questions, right? There's this conversation that everybody has, the crew, the group, the gang, the group like was questioning if they were start just to like cheer up freaking star Peter Quill. When this situation, we had started Peter Quill freaking passed out in this situation, but it's because he was passed out or like incapacitated that probably that's why Rocket was freaking attacked, right? Was Rocket was freaking attacked, was shot by Adam Warlock. While he was shot there, almost freaking killed, almost freaking died. They put this freaking med packs towards him, and you can see this freaking struggle already. You can see the struggle or the entire freaking conflict as to what it is that is needed to be done, right? They're all motivated to be able to like save freaking Rocket in this situation. Their motivation to save freaking Rocket is just arose from this situation because Rocket almost freaking died, and they put him in these they put him in a monitoring freaking station, but they can never like have like a med pack ready for him because There needs to be a bypass code, like any changes towards his physique or anything else. There needs to be a pass key because she is like considered as property by the high evolutionary, and they need to go to freaking Og Corp. Wait, and they need to go to the Og Corp or some like some freaking place. They have 48 hours to be able to like go to the place, be able to like get the freaking passkey from that location, and be able to like cure freaking Rocket. But as they were going into the Og freaking into the Ogcorp, we got to be able to see some freaking conflicts between the internal freaking conflicts that Starlord has said, right? When they were like passing through the freaking shields, going into the what is that? Wait, let's go Google. Uh, Ogcorp, Guardians 3, Orgo Corp. Okay, or Orgo Corp. No, it's not often searched as Orgo Corp. Or if they're going to go have a heist when it comes to the Orgo Corp and fucking steal it. And as they were going in there, they were like intercepted by a bunch of freaking Ravagers in towards the freaking shields and were able to like board the freaking ship. And that was one of the freaking coolest freaking shots that I've ever seen. One of the coolest freaking sequences. You're about to be boarded by Ravagers. Please surrender everything. Yeah, please surrender everything that you ever wanted. You want your life to be saved, and then they were boarded, and then this guy with freaking magic freaking circles. They got one guy with freaking magic circles drawing in portals from everywhere, and everybody just coming into the fucking ship, and just guns freaking blazing pointed at them, and it's just one of the coolest freaking shots ever. It's like really freaking cool to introduce the Ravagers and how freaking powerful they are. And we got freaking Drax still wanting to freaking fight, even if it doesn't look like a fair freaking shot. That's like one cool ass way to be able to like see it, right? And it was like very nice to be able to like see. And so in this freaking thing, we get to be able to like see like there was this confrontation. What is going on? Eh? Or they're boarded and all those freaking shit, and we have Nebula be able to like say, "We're here to see Gamora." And then that was a great ass freaking shot towards freaking Peter Quill, which is like, oh, this is the person he freaking lost. She's still freaking alive and all freaking that, right? But this Gamora is the Gamora from freaking the past that came into the future that helped the Avengers defeat Thanos, right? So it's not exactly the Gamora that they met. Not the Gamora that he met. There was no freaking history between him and this Gamora, but like he is always there, constantly being reminded of the Gamora that he lost, right? And then as he goes into this situation, we'll be able to like have this freaking conversation between Gamora. Right? They have this freaking setting where Gamora comes in. Peter Quill is freaking shocked, and nobody was like, everybody was kind of okay about it. And then they were able to like given freaking suits to be able to infiltrate Orgo Corp. And as they go intercept Orgo Corp, we get the great gag from freaking Drax, as he says it doesn't match with his skin or his eyes. Uh, he needs a freaking different color for when it comes to the freaking uniform. Which is why Drax. Somehow you are. He's much more complex when it comes to his freaking jokes, right? Uh, when it comes to the freaking jokes or the freaking gags, when it comes to the freaking Drax, he adds more character towards him, even though it's a freaking joke. Also, he's much more sophisticated. He cares about how he looks or how he's being perceived, even though he's someone who's always freaking shirtless. Yes. Well, does he care about his being perceived, or does he just like looking a certain kind of way, right? Yeah, he has some sense of fashion sense, as they do say. He has a sense of freaking style. He has a personality. He has a personality. He was able to like say those freaking kinds of things. Oh, we could just say that he is the diva of the. Well, it kinda is, right? Kinda Drax is kinda the diva of the freaking group. Always doing whatever he wants, and all those freaking stuff, right? Kind of diva. I mean, kind of a prima donna, and has a little bit problem when it comes to the intelligence and all freaking that. Yeah, kind of shows that Drax might be the diva of the freaking group. Anyways, as they go into this, as they go now into the freaking Orgo Corp, as they try to infiltrate Orgo Corp, they have different freaking colors for their freaking suits, and it's another freaking nice sequence as they jump out of the freaking ship and go into the freaking and they'll jump out of the ship and land on the freaking structure. The Orgo Corp, by the way, is like a structure made out of living biology, living things, right? It's a structure made out of living freaking things. And it's a corporation used by the High Evolutionary to fund his freaking experiments that are beyond intergalactic freaking law, because he was able to like create freaking societies all by himself, and through these freaking societies they see him as god. That is the High Evolutionary, but we don't know anything about the High Evolutionary just yet. But we are getting freaking flashbacks when it comes to freaking Rocket, right? Once he was freaking shot, he was on the med bay. We got a little bit of freaking flashback as to when he was freshly operated upon and was able to like interact with the freaking cellmates that he has. We got to have wow. What are wait, Thieves, Floor, and wait uh Guardians of the Galaxy. Was it Sadie? It starts with an S. Volume 3, Rockets, Cellmates. Lila, start with an S. Lila, Thieves, and Floor. Start Lila, Thieves, and freaking Floor, right? But we don't know them as Lila, Thieves, and Floor. They were just calling each other friend because they are named by 89P13, right? 89P13, batch 89, product 13. That is his freaking name, 89P13. And there are batch 89 of of these species, or create manufactured races that High Evolutionary is gonna be able to do. And yeah, that's freaking one of those freaking flashbacks that Rocket has. But in this situation, as they are trying to drill a hole towards this place in Orgo Corp, we get to be able to have a little bit of like, why am I retelling the entire freaking story? When it comes to this struggle, we get to see a lot more. Like this one again, another like freaking conversation between how freaking deeply in love Peter Quill was with freaking Gamora, as he freaking says all these freaking things towards her, right? As he says, "You are my everything and everything." What else? You are my everything. Did he say that? Oh no. It says a lot of freaking stuff, but like, and then it got undercut by a freaking guy again, which is kind of freaking funny, and it's kind of being painful and freaking sad to be able to like see freaking Peter Quill act this way towards Gamora, especially if you like freaking fan and all those freaking things. But like as a freaking viewer, as I was watching this, I felt more more empathetic towards this freaking character as the one he's going through, as to why he is slumped up and freaking drunk, because like Gamora seems to be somebody that is that, right? But there's like a great freaking conversation when it comes to this freaking two while they were on the freaking ship. Before they were, while they were on the ship, no, after freaking Orgo Corp. They was like, or in freaking Orgo Corp. So they infiltrated freaking Orgo Corp. They split up the freaking party. There's this freaking gag, another one when it comes to Master, Master, Master. What is his name? One of the freaking guards. That one of the leader of the freaking guards, or leader of a squadron of guards, leader of a guard squad was like able to like go in there and be able to like say, "Oh, you have one of those. I have one of these too." And it's like very funny to be able to like that is his entire freaking thing. And yeah, I swear I'm gonna freaking murder him and all those freaking those freaking kind of freaking words, and kind of lines. Yeah, and that was like freaking Drax. He's being treated as a freaking idiot, but it doesn't seem to be that much of a freaking idiot in this second situation. That is being still being started with a freaking gag at the freaking beginning, and we get to see Drax like grow into like something else, but it's always like a gag in there. Mantis is like Mantis and freaking Drax. They split up the freaking party out to be able to like look for whatever it is that they need to look for, right? They lost their freaking suits, so Drax and Mantis are finding a way out. And Gamora, what? Where is Nebula? Gamora, Nebula, and Peter went to go find the passkey, right? But then he bumped into the freaking guy. Uh, into the fucking one of the recorders of Revolutionaries freaking recorders. But as they go into the freaking recording freaking thing, we get to be able to like see Peter Quill show off a little bit, but it's kind of like cool, like kind of freaking it's kind of like a big of failure and supposed to be like a start of, is this freaking another gag, which is starts off like another gag when it comes to freaking Peter Quill's charms or what he freaking does. And then, but later on, as they go into the freaking hostage situation, they take her as freaking hostage, and they take her to the freaking records room, and they get this, and they get Rocket's freaking records, and as they go out, a lot of people identified Mantis and freaking Drax, and they were like surrounding freaking Mantis and Drax and letting going to arrest them, right? But as they were going to arrest them, uh, we get to see we got to see Peter try his freaking charms in this time, and this time it freaking works, and it's so freaking cool. As it was, I'm gonna speak for them from the heart. I'm gonna be able to like say all these freaking things. I need to save my freaking friend, uh, and all those freaking stuff. And I just need to talk to everybody. But it wasn't that, and he was able to like get into get inside their entire get inside their freaking system and hack everybody's suits and let everybody freaking fly chaotically in the freaking Orgo Corp. And so with that, we got to see freaking Groot. Like Groot wasn't with them, but he had to be able to like drive the entire freaking ship and crash landed towards Orgo Corp and like catches the freaking crew and let them freaking go back into freaking space. And as they were going there, they're trying to retrieve the passkey, but the passkey was deleted from the freaking file that they had when it comes to understanding freaking Rocket. But they this time around they understood what is done to freaking Rocket. The entire freaking crew now understands freaking Rocket's past and what happened to freaking Rocket. And everybody feels sad for freaking Rocket and all those freaking things. And we get to see this kind of like confrontation when it comes to Gamora, Peter, and the entire freaking crew as to what it is that they needed to be able to do for freaking Rocket, right? Like Gamora doesn't understand how important freaking Rocket is to them, and we got to see how she was able to like be able to understand it, right? How she was able to understand how they were able to let her freaking understand what is going on with freaking Rocket, and they were able to do that when it comes to this freaking conversation. When it comes to freaking Peter Quill, like this freaking lash out or valid crash outs when it comes to everyone. Like, what is so wrong with you that you need me to be this somebody, right? And then it comes to freaking Peter, and I don't need that all those freaking things. And we got freaking we have Nebula holding freaking Gamora's freaking hand and was saying, "I have like many upgradeds because of that freaking raccoon." And then Gamora being able to like say, "But I am family, and so is he." And that was like that. And that was like me understanding. Oh, Gamora. This time around, Gamora is really part of the. Nebula. Nebula is really part of the freaking crew. Like really part of them, right? She found a freaking place to with the freaking guardians, and that is like one of those understanding of like how their character, how their characters have developed throughout this freaking story and throughout the freaking years. And that is like nice to be able to like see in that freaking dialogue and in that freaking confrontation. And yeah, that seems freaking nice to be able to like finally see. uh and that is probably the end when it comes to freaking Peter Quill's pursuit of freaking Gamora, pursuit towards freaking Gamora being uh pursuing freaking Gamora, being seeing Gamora as the Gamora of his freaking timeline, but it is somehow like it is freaking different. So they go and face off, and then they go face off, and they go and face off freaking high evolutionary in a planet called Counter freaking Earth, right? In a planet called they went to freaking Counter Earth to be able to like go face off when it comes to the high evolutionary, where everybody sees it's a freaking trap. But if you know it's a trap and they know it's a trap, it's a freaking face off. even though even though every person is highly 10,000s more powerful than you, it's still a freaking face off. And that is a very funny way to be able to like see Guardians of freaking the Galaxy. And yeah, they were able to land at this counter Earth and we're able to like see Earth, that the Earth that we have, modern freaking Earth, like seen as a bunch of freaking animal creatures. And animal freaking creatures or animal freaking race populating this freaking Earth, but somehow less freaking violent because we had to be able to like see. We have like a little bit of freaking flashbacks coming from freaking Rocket as to what is freaking going on when it comes to these freaking races, right? An explanation of the freaking races that he has, and a development of how freaking smart Rocket is, because it was just a couple of freaking times where Rocket is barely even handling his freaking vocabulary, but was able to like grasp the entire mechanism of this freaking transmutate, something that transmutates that transforms these freaking animals into humanoid freaking figures. And he was able to like say this freaking thing, and he was able to make them much more docile because of something that makes them because the entire structure or the entire freaking thing is making them very violent, right? That it was able to do those. But even though they are less freaking violent, there's still violence when it comes to their freaking society, as we see into the freaking streets, as they are like going towards the freaking streets. Later on, with when it comes to Peter Quill and freaking Groot driving the freaking car and like looking at this freaking society, right? Get to be able to like see that, but as they go freaking down here, we get to be able to like see other freaking characters in this situation. We have like uh we have like a freaking third party when it comes to freaking Adam Warlock getting the way he was trying to be integrated into the freaking squad or into their freaking side, right? He was being seen as this supposed final form of their freaking race, right? And he's a fucking idiot. He seems he's acting like a fucking child. No, I said fucking so way too many times there. He's acting so much of a freaking child, and you can see the disappointment when it comes to high evolutionary, when it comes to the sovereign, right? Yeah, and there goes his freaking mother dragging him all along when it comes to his freaking adventures. Because they were able to deter Adam Warlock, he was stabbed. He was able to fly back to his freaking mother. And then later on in the Orgo Corp, they'll get to see the freaking chase of freaking uh the chase of freaking Adam Warlock towards uh we got to see the chase between Adam Warlock chasing them, right? Figuring out where everybody went. Because they wanted to be able to get the freaking credit, to be able to get the credit of giving Rocket Raccoon towards the High Evolutionary. Because 83 89P13 is very, very important because he was able to have this original freaking thought Yeah, it's one of those freaking starting of its freaking original thought, right? But that's like we get to be able to like see this also when it comes to Adam freaking Warlock trying to be able to like see a better good side of him because he's a child. These ways can be swayed, or he can be taught to be able to like learn and act a different freaking way, given a freaking second chance, even though that's what he did in the freaking first place. I get to see a little bit of freaking redemption arc, a slightly redemption arc to the eyes of the freaking viewers through this freaking once, as they were pursuing the rest of the freaking crew. As they were pursuing the rest of the freaking crew, we get to see Adam Warlock vaporize the freaking guy, like only remaining remainings of his bones, and the entire freaking he was able to like empathize with this freaking pet that they have, and it feels like a freaking pet freaking thing, right? I'll train him to do this, I'll train him to do that, and all those freaking things. And it comes having a pet in the household, it feels like that this is a freaking situation, but they were able to like contact freaking Gamora, and they track freaking Gamora, and they're going to the same counter freaking Earth. So as they go to the freaking counter Earth, they landed in that freaking situation, and they were surrounded by a lot of these freaking people. But we get to see another gag from freaking Drax. Like a ball was thrown towards him, and he throws the ball back, but it was way too freaking strong and knocks the freaking girl out, having everybody throw freaking rocks at them as freaking retaliation. But as they retaliate, we get to see able to see Nebula say kaiju mode towards our boy, kaiju mode towards our guy, uh, Groot, and it turned into a big ass freaking monster and scared everybody else. And like, but they have this freaking thing when it comes to freaking Peter Quill that he's a freaking a nice guy and was able to do those, right? He's struggling through his freaking loss in this freaking situation also. Yeah, and able to do those, and they were able to be taken into the house of the freaking bad freaking lady. As they go into the bad freaking lady, we get to see add more in the situation of how close they are as a freaking group to be able to be open, be open enough as to their freaking opinions of each other. When it comes to Drax laying down in the freaking couch, it's what it is for. It it that is the use of a freaking couch. I do not believe that it is that its purpose is only one thing, right? Then so he lays down in the freaking couch. They don't want him to lay down in the freaking couch. Mantis's depiction of freaking death and freaking stupid is freaking the same. Nebula gets annoyed by that and was like openly annoyed by that. And that is like a crazy ass freaking confrontation between everybody else and a god freaking thing, and a very, very funny way to be able to like say more things about themselves, right? It was like nice to be able to like see that, and then and then through this we were able to understand that this showdown is we're able to like see we're able to like see they pointed to the right the freaking direction as to where these guys are, which is a big ass pyramid in somewhere near the freaking cities. And so yeah, they actually act and live like humans in the freaking real world, even though their violence capacity for violence has been reduced. It's something like that, but we get to see as they were like trying to go into there, right? We're going to go there. The first fuck in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe was ever said when when Nebula was trying to open the fucking door to entering the car. Why do you push the button? Push the freaking button downside. No, you're pushing the freaking keyhole. You push the other freaking button. Now what? Open the fucking door. That is a stupid design. And they were able to like go into there, go towards that entire freaking area. We got Groot, you got Nebula and freaking Peter Quill going towards the face off, and we have Drax and freaking Mantis waiting in the freaking ship. Drax, Mantis, and Gamora waiting in the freaking ship. But as they go there, we get to be able to like see a little bit more when it comes to the high evolutionary freaking plants. And when it comes to high evolutionary freaking plants, we get to see a crazy freaking part about we get to see about high evolutionary freaking plants about adding another batch for the perfect freaking race that he's needed to be able to do. And that is one crazy ass freaking thing to be able to like tackle upon in this freaking situation, because we get to be able to like see superhuman freaking beings, right? Superhuman children that needs to be freaking raised. And that is just one kid freaking running on a freaking treadmill for 2 hours and not even breaking a sweat. And that is like one of the freaking kids. But before that, but before they go into the freaking place, right? We go into the freaking place, we get another flashback coming from freaking Raccoon Rocket when it comes to his freaking finally breaking out, right? They needed freaking P13 as to asking how did they come up with these freaking ideas when it comes to the fixing of the entire freaking thing. And it freaking worked. Now that it freaking worked, you finally be able to like see that probably yeah, you get to see Rocket's naivety in this situation where he thinks that they're still gonna be able to like taken into the new freaking world as batch freaking 89, but batch 89 was never the freaking final product. And yeah, they were able to like be able to go there, and Rocket like tried to do create a freaking escape plan. And as he freaking escapes, he gets his confrontation when it comes to the high evolutionary, where he rips his freaking he shot he shot Lila. He freaking shot freaking Lila. And then they just freaking rocket into this, right? Because he was gonna escape with all of them. And Ray just freaking rocket, rips his freaking face, tears his freaking face up, and has him knocked out for a little bit, but not before the high evolutionary was able to like call for freaking assistance and freaking backup. So as the backup freaking came, there was a great performance for evolutionary being a mean freaking guy, man. Him freaking laughing, being him freaking crying when it comes to yelling, he's freaking crying towards the way, oh, you won the freaking crying contest, as he says it to freaking Rocket. That is one crazy ass freaking thing. This freaking part I really really like, because it's really shows a lot more like the animation when it comes to freaking Rocket is very freaking convincing and very well done. And it's heavily freaking weighted because it's like he believes in all this in the words of the high evolutionary, and it's just been recently betrayed by him. And now that he has been betrayed by his freaking high evolutionary, he like this guy freaking kills his freaking best friend, right? And so enters him a new one. There comes everybody else. He picks up the gun, shoots back at the freaking guards, be able to like take down the guards, but not with the guards shooting the rest of his freaking cellmates, right? After that they killed the floor and freaking thieves and floor freaking shot down too. And he was the only one remaining now to be able to escape, and as he was able to run, he was able to like take on the ship and was able to like leave. And that is freaking Rocket's freaking story, and it's really freaking well made, and really good how it's freaking done, how it started off with how it was executed, like with when it comes to him like having a place of freaking comfort and freaking solace when it comes to these freaking people, right? Yeah, it's freaking place of freaking his freaking people that he was able to interact with and have dreams. Like they made him dream when it comes to the freaking future. They made him think of freaking loving everybody else, and makes him naive enough, makes him believe in the freaking high evolutionary's freaking words. And later on, as they were betrayed very freaking fast. It happened, everything happened very freaking fast, but he needed to freaking leave because he would die freaking die. All he needed to do is to freaking survive, and that's what he freaking did after that. And that's freaking nice to be able to see from freaking Rocket Raccoon. And in this freaking situation, we get to be able to like see uh Mantis and freaking Drax like hopping on a motorcycle and going to towards Nebula, towards Peter Quill. And when it comes to it, Nebula and freaking Peter, Nebula was like made to freaking wait in the car because her gun was freaking a gun, right? So they were dragged. Peter and freaking Groot were dragged into the High Evolutionary. And as they went to the High Evolutionary's freaking office, he was like DJing or something. He was doing some kind of freaking shit right there, but like good enough time for like Peter yet. And as he was there, he was able to like have this freaking conversation between the two of them, and they were like being able to like taken down by evolutionaries, gravity manipulation freaking thingy. And as he freaking leaves, Groot was not inspected somehow. Somehow Groot was not expected because he's a fucking tree guy. Groot was not expected to be hiding freaking guns within him. But he had freaking guns and he had the freaking grenade. He had the grenade he was able to throw and blow shit up. Which led them to be able to like grab the freaking guy, like blow shit up, which is a crazy ass freaking sequence of them freaking shooting at everybody else, which is a nice freaking one again. It's really good. The action seems really good. And then them shooting each other, shooting everyone, a new one in this situation, and then and because of that, then he still needed to be able to like cure freaking Rocket, right? And then in this situation, the one of the freaking guards was sent to go to the freaking ship and retrieve freaking Rocket, but no one is in the freaking ship. No one is guarding the ship, so this guy just freaking walks in. This pig just walks in and grab freaking Rocket, but not without freaking Gamora. And now in this situation, what was Gamora freaking doing all this freaking time? While they were like traveling towards the main freaking building, right? Traveling towards the High Evolutionary. As Gamora was like uh wandering around the freaking ship, he was able to like stumble upon Peter's freaking stuff, and she was able to like see a lot of his freaking past stuff, and he's able to like, see a picture of him with his freaking mother and grandpa, and that was nice to be able to like see. Nice to be able to like confrontation between Gamora's freaking feelings towards freaking Peter, but that's what she sees, and she was like questioning why is Rocket so freaking important, right? But in this situation, we got to be able to like see freaking Gamora actualize this one and was able to like go and fight for freaking Rocket's life. And she was fighting the freaking pig freaking guy. We got to be able to like Adam Warlock arrives. Adam Warlock arrives in this situation. Adam Warlock arrives in this situation and freaking kills the freaking pig guy and picks up freaking Rocket. But not before the entire freaking place is freaking about to freaking blow up because the High Evolutionary, while they were in the High Evolutionary, while Peter and freaking Groot were with the High Evolutionary, the evolutionary was preparing to blow up the entire freaking planet because those guys aren't freaking perfect. The animal people aren't freaking perfect enough for him. So he needed to be able to like raise it up and be able to like start a new freaking world for these kids, the kids that he's experimenting on to be able to live in. And yeah, he blows up the entire freaking planet. He's blowing up the entire freaking planet, having everybody blown up in this situation. The entire freaking place is getting blown up. And yeah, while everything is getting blown up, Adam Warlock was able to like realize that his mother is about to be blown up too because they landed on the freaking ship with his freaking mother. He was able to go back. He was able to like as he goes back into the freaking ship, he gets blown up. Uh, he gets blown up with the freaking ship, with the freaking ship of his freaking mother. And with it, let's go back to uh freaking Gamora calling freaking back up now, calling freaking Drax to drive the freaking ship towards them. But as she was calling freaking Drax to drive the freaking ships towards them, they Drax and freaking Mantis arrive right on freaking time towards freaking Gamora. So they have nobody else except freaking except they have no one else except freaking Gamora flying the freaking ship, and we have Gamora trying to like fly the ship to get out of the freaking planet because the planet is about to blow up. Uh, we have Nebula, Drax, and freaking Mantis going in towards the freaking ship too, towards the ship with the High Evolutionary, because they want to save freaking Peter and freaking Groot. But as they are going there, Groot and freaking Peter Quill drops down on the freaking ship, with the freaking one of the guys having like to record it, guys with the freaking passkey. As they're freaking dropping down, you get to be able to like see them dropping down in the freaking background as uh as Nebula and Nebula, Drax, and freaking Mantis were like getting into the freaking ship. So that's one of the freaking things. Uh, ah. And as they what happens after this? Right, let me have a little bit. Let me chill a little bit and have a freaking refresher, if that's okay. Let me take a break. Let me take a wee break. Okay. I think I know what happens. Wait. It's a big big final act of the three. They got freaking captured. So as they were going in there, the Groot and freaking Peter need to freaking rush towards the freaking ship, right? They rush towards the freaking ship as they were like crash freaking down to the freaking to land. They hear freaking Gamora's freaking signal and was able to call onto her. And as they were able to call onto her, the ship was like landed right in front of them, and they went into the ship and get to be able to like cure freaking freaking rocket because they had the freaking passcode from one of the guys, the recorder freaking guys. And as they were able to like do that, as Rocket was able to like wake up, they freaking find this freaking they were able to like talk to freaking Nebula and the rest of the freaking gang who are into the high evolutionary freaking ship, and as they freaking ask where they are in it trying to save them while they are like outside, and there's this freaking gag freaking thing and a great freaking reunion towards everybody else. This is the part that actually like made me a little bit freaking made me cry a little bit because like they can still freaking struggle. I don't know, man. I don't know where's the part where I cried in the freaking movie theater. I don't know. Yeah, and there was that. Wow. And there was that, and they dragged everybody else into it, right? And Nebula and the rest of the freaking crew got freaking captured while they were like talking to them. And while they freaking got captured, they talk shit with the high evolutionary. And then we comes to that. Now Peter needs a freaking backup, calls freaking Kraglin, like had the freaking showdown, like tracked the freaking high evolutionary ship, went to the high evolutionary ship, with the freaking nowhere being an entire freaking ship itself, like shooting things towards the high evolutionary ship, and they go in towards it, not knowing that when it comes to these freaking things, as they go towards the high evolutionary ship, as they go towards it, um, the high evolutionary said that to drop the freaking cages or to drop the entire freaking people, right? The rest of the real Nebula and the rest of the freaking crew. Nebula, Mantis, and Drax towards freaking bunch of freaking monsters, which are the well, let's just say as freaking Kraglin goes in, Kraglin and the freaking nowhere ship punches the hole towards the evolutionary ship, and which makes an entry point for Peter and the rest of the gang to be able to enter into. But as they're going into it, uh, had a high evolutionary lowered the freaking prisoners, which is Drax, Mantis, and Nebula into a freaking spot where they're supposed to be able to be executed because they have no more leverage, right? Which is like an insane freaking move for him, which is he's no longer considering the entire advice of the rest of the freaking people around him, and which in turn this freaking pit had like a crazy ass had bunch of these guys who are like the ones that were fighting in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the beginning part. It was those freaking it was that kind of monster, but it was like three of them. There were like three of these freaking kinds of monsters, but as they were like we were able to understand it, they were only eating batteries and they are like freaking scared. And Mantis was able to like calm these freaking things down and was able to like ride them. And as freaking Peter, Gamora, and freaking Rocket was like entered into Rocket and Groot entered through the freaking spaceport, which is has a hole in it. They went and entered into that freaking situation, and was able to like get in. And as they get in, and as they get into it, we get to see a lot of the freaking resistance that is coming, which is like a bunch of freaking Hellspawn. They call them Hellspawn, which attack freaking nowhere, which went to freaking nowhere, attack freaking the ships, and it was attacking freaking nowhere, and nowhere needs to defend itself from the Hellspawn. But as they go into hell defend itself, we get a freaking Kraglin moment, and a Kraglin moment, and a Cosmo freaking moment because they have a freaking issue with Kraglin calling Cosmo a bad freaking dog, and this time she is a good freaking dog, and I'm squish. And that is a nice freaking thing, which I completely didn't talk about, but that was that. Uh, in the freaking high evolutionary ship, they were able to like enter into it and and everybody was freaking panicking. Everybody was like wanting the high evolutionary to the freaking retreat, but nobody wants to retreat. And turns out to figure out some mutiny, and the high evolutionary freaking killed everybody in the freaking cockpit. And so they're freaking as they enter into the freaking stuff, as everybody is gathered back into the freaking spaceport and they enter into the high evolutionary ship. We got this entire hallway freaking scene that is really cool where everybody was like punching and like shooting everybody. It was shot in freaking wide angles, so it was like really very cool when it comes to like very corners, like very tight freaking spaces, and like it's very nice to be able to like watch. I like the use of freaking wide angle in this situation. It was like nice. The entire freaking movie had like a lot of freaking wide angle shots, which is like nice to be able to like see, and it was like done and executed well. And yeah, after that they were able to like go punch out and were able to like see this entire freaking thing. Have the entire freaking party freaking split. We have Gamora, Nebula, and freaking Rocket go to the freaking cockpit and pilot it. We have where did everybody. Well, we still have freaking. In this situation, we still have Adam Warlock trying to freaking kill them, right? Yeah. And still have freaking Adam Warlock trying to kill them in this situation, and there was like got in there, but he was like blown up when it comes to the freaking ship because he was trying to kill what's it? Oh, because the his freaking animal is his freaking pet is with Gamora and Quill's freaking ship. And as it enters in that freaking situation, they were able to like crash the ship with Adam in it and like enter the self destruct when it comes to the entire freaking thing. So Adam Warlock was like out of freaking commission in this situation. the entire the entire freaking children needs to be able to be released and have like a freaking escape needs to escape. There are a bunch of freaking children in this freaking situation which they freaking found while they were like looking around for Peter while Nebula and the rest of the crew were like looking around for Peter and freaking Groot. While they were looking around, they got stumbled upon a bunch of freaking children as freaking prisoners, and they were able to like warn them to like go into the freaking science, but they were like captured, right? But and so they were able to like need to go freaking there, need to save everybody, and this was the entire freaking sequence. And so they're trying to save everybody, and we get to be able to like everybody trying to save everybody. We got to see nowhere connect into freaking the high evolutionary shift for everybody have the passageway to be able to go there, and there were all the freaking children that were able to be saved. And we have freaking Nebula trying to pilot it from the freaking pilot, and everybody trying to save everybody. But while everybody's saving everybody, we got to be able to like see. We don't know where Rocket is, but Rocket was on the very back, like, trying to like save a little bit more of the kids, and was able to like go into this freaking place, go back to where they are, was able to like see a bunch of freaking baby raccoons and pick them up. And as he picks them up, he was able to like he was able to be knowing this all the freaking animals, and as he was able to go there, uh, what is happening there? As he was able to like go there, he got confronted by the high evolutionary. You think you can freaking escape and all freaking that? Yeah, I got confronted by the high evolutionary, right? But yeah, he got confronted by the high evolutionary. But he was able to freaking shoot him, and then everybody came in and they beat up the high evolutionary, and then they just no longer need to save just freaking humans, but the rest of the freaking animals too. And while the animals were going in into the freaking thing, Peter dropped his freaking Zune, and he come back to freaking saved it. And as he was going there, he just got caught up in the freaking thing. He got caught up in there. There's just already a big, huge ass gap when it comes to when it comes to there's a huge ass gap when it comes to saving when it comes to his freaking distance going into their freaking location. And that's where freaking Adam Warlock picks him up and drags him back into the freaking to nowhere. And they have a big freaking hug, and that was that. And we have this freaking entire freaking end sequence where everybody somehow guts with whatever everybody was okay, but everybody gets to go their separate ways. Like somehow Peter was able to like understand that he's lost so freaking much and needs to spend time with the people that he still has, which is freaking grandpa. Mantis needs to be able to like go find things that are that what she wants in the second situation, and we have Drax being able to become a father towards a bunch of freaking children. Uh, we have Nebula wanting to be able to like lead freaking nowhere, and Groot and Rocket are the only ones left when it comes to being part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which they freaking recruited. Gamora was able to like go back when it comes to the Ravagers. The entire freaking group is freaking separated now. The Guardians of the Galaxy, the run for the Guardians of the Galaxy, the current freaking cast has been like freaking done and freaking over. But somehow, when it comes to the post-credit scenes, we get to be able to like see the new Guardians of the Galaxy, and yet at the very very end of the post-credit scene, we get to be able to see the legendary Star Lord will return. So Guardians of the Galaxy will still probably be uh reunited in this freaking situation. So that's the entire freaking story of Guardians of the Galaxy. I just retold the entire freaking story of the Guardians of the Galaxy in a freaking hour. Now, when it comes to this, when it comes to Marvel Cinematic Universe concerns, story problems, if any, I don't have much. But the action I like the jokes that were funny, the cinematography and genre photography. Yeah, that's what this entire freaking thing about. Peter Quill's freaking struggles and struggling when it comes to his freaking grief and all those freaking things. We get to be able to like see that much more later when it comes to the freaking story. Rocket's freaking thing when it comes to running away, we're able to like say I'm no longer I'm no longer running away. When it comes to the final freaking fight, and him like trying to confront going back into the freaking going into the high evolutionary's freaking ship. Others, when it comes to Drax and freaking Mantis situation, Drax feels like some sort of a protector towards freaking Mantis, but like Mantis somehow doesn't want that when it comes to her freaking new journey. Um, what else? Mm, yeah, that's Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's a Doomsday prep as to what is coming next when it comes to freaking Doomsday. We got to probably see a new cast of freaking Guardians, which has Adam Warlock, Kraglin, Cosmo, that kid. What's her freaking name? When it comes to the kid, let's see here. Phyla. Phyla. Jub 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 Jub. And to be able to see that. And yeah. And finally Star Lord eating cereal with his freaking grandpa. That's freaking post credit scenes, and that's a preparation for freaking Doomsday. And a little bit more conversation as to what this movie is towards me. I watched this in the freaking theater, and I was crying in the movie theater for some unknown reason. Probably when no, probably yeah, when they're trying to bring back freaking Rocket, that was like something very heavy emotionally, and also when Rocket's freaking first family dies, like that is freaking heartbreaking, man. And like this freaking villain is really freaking good, and I was like watching it, I was still freaking impressed when it comes to the villain that they freaking made. Yeah, and that's like overall Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I don't know if you kind of want to watch this freaking thing over again because it's kind of like me retelling the entire freaking story, which is kind of like not my freaking plan. It's like kind of not my freaking plan for today, but I ended up retelling it, which is kind of weird. Kind of like end up retelling it and I retold it in a freaking hours freaking time, which is definitely freaking weird. Yeah, but I wanted more talk more when it comes to the freaking internal motivations and all that stuff. But hey, it's probably a great step back towards everything else, and just really enjoy the film for what it is, man. And it's a really good freaking movie. It's a really good movie. It was a fun movie. I had fun. It was nice. Yeah, it was great freaking watching it. The gags were freaking funny. Everything was freaking the gags are freaking funny. I love when Drax like pushed that freaking ball towards that kid. That was funny. Yeah. Overall, the second best when it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy. The first one is still the most impactful, man. First one is still number one, and then number three to second, then second in the third place. I get why the second is like the weakest when it comes to the trilogy, but yeah, yeah, three is kind of nice. Okay, that's about it. Thank you so much for coming by the stream. Thank you so much for watching the freaking stream. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. And I'll see you after I watch Secret Wars. Probably take on a 1 day freaking break from it. If we're gonna do once a freaking day, probably I'll spend 2 to 3 days. If I end up doing just watch, all I do is freaking watch. But I don't think I'll ever have the yeah. If I ever have the time, I'ma do it. But this is me just freaking catching up. I'm trying to